Welcome back to Mindful Moxies. In this episode, we're breaking down the art of powerful selling by listening. Because when you stop pitching and start hearing, that's when abundance flows. Are you ready to sell with heart and integrity? Let's go.
Be mindful of yourself, be mindful of your wealth, be mindful of your health. You need it, just take a breath, it's your life. Live it, be your best, stay box free with your Mindful Moxies.
Welcome back, Mindful Moxies. We are so happy to be here one more time. Do you remember that song?
Yes, of course.
I'm gonna celebrate.
We're going to celebrate.
Yes. My name is Adrianna Pasta.
And I'm Luly Carreras, and we're going to celebrate selling today.
Yes, sales. Oh my God, we could do like an entire podcast on sales.
On sales, that's right.
Yes, we
That's
should.
right. Yeah,
I think, like a Moxie.
Yeah, and I think that that's the opportunity as we're wrapping up the series on money, and realizing how the money mindset and all the things we've been talking about these past few weeks also translate into the way that we sell, the way that we negotiate, the way that we show up, whether it's negotiating the pay for that job or making the pay rates of the business that we have, or maybe we have a side hustle and we're trying to get some clients as a freelancer. Whatever that might look like, how is money mindset showing up in the way that we show up to sell?
Absolutely. And I think that it's not a how. It's like money mindset will show up in the way you sell.
That's true.
Like this is something that I talk a lot about with my clients all the time. It's like what you believe about money will show up and either benefit or impact in not such a positive way.
Right.
Your sales results, whether you make money or you don't make money. It's based on your money mindset, which you guys already know is based on your money story, on the difference between scarcity and abundance, and how much you value yourself. This is why we wanted to make these series, to give you these particular tools in how to build up on your money mindset, so then you can go out in the world and sell like a Moxie.
Yeah, and I used to not love sales, and now I love sales. And the reason why is that I feel like selling is serving. You have a cut on your arm. I have a Band-Aid. I'm seeing that you're bleeding. I have the solution, which is this Band-Aid, and I get to invite you to use my Band-Aid. At the end of the day, we are all selling a solution.
Yes.
We are all selling something that can benefit someone, no matter what you're selling. I don't care what you're selling. And every time I say this, and anytime I'm selling, I'm training or teaching or coaching on sales, somebody always wants to try me and say, but not in my industry, not with my clients.
It's
and
so
I'm like,
true.
Try me.
It's so true.
So I'm like, try me. You are always selling a solution. And so I think we first get to start with how to redefine selling. You talked in the last episode how, and in the past couple episodes about, we hear this a lot in both of our communities and with a lot of our clients about, I don't want to be salesy.
Right.
And the salesy is because we experienced somebody who was not being authentic when she was making an offer. And we don't want to look like that person.
Yeah. And also remember, again, go back to our previous episode. We spoke about what does being salesy mean from an emotional perspective. And it's just that you can identify unconsciously. You can smell the fear.
That's right.
And people can smell your fear. Being salesy comes from scarcity, and the reason why you don't like it is because it reminds you of your own fear, or because it reminds you of a moment in your life, in your childhood specifically, where somebody was treating you with fear and you don't like the feeling. So this is why a lot of people attach sales. But the truth is that sales is such a actually, it's not just a beautiful way of serving. Sales is life, is the way that we interact in the world. Even if I'm not selling my product, I'm selling an idea, I'm selling a vision, I'm selling a purpose. Sales is everything, is the way that we serve in the world for everything.
And think about when somebody says, I need an electrician, and you have a great electrician, you are selling to me the idea
Yes.
that your electrician is the electrician, right? You are selling that to me. So we sell every single day, multiple times in
Yes.
the day. Sales is not the transaction of.
No, good.
Not always is it a transaction of. So I thought that it would be great if I shared with you all some of those tips in sales that I have found to be really, really beneficial, not only to me in the way that I sell and the way that I approach sales, but it's also really helped and benefited so many other people. So I thought we could go through those and just give you some really great tips and just continue to equip you not only in money mindset and also just expand into how selling is serving.
I agree.
So I
1,000%.
think the first part is really taking a place of curiosity, and I shared this last week when we talked about closed heart and how I approached dating again after divorce with curiosity, but I also approach a sales conversation with curiosity.
Yes, very important.
I think so many of us, again, whether it's a potential client or maybe in a job interview, or maybe when we're trying to impress somebody, right? We all have that moment where we want to make a good impression on the person. And we want to make sure that we are giving those bullet points of why we are the right fit or how we could benefit them. And what I've learned is the best thing to do as somebody who loves to talk is to shut up and listen. Just shut the F up.
Yeah.
And listen, bro.
In one of our last episodes from season 1, we spoke about networking. And we
Yes.
shared that it is really important to be interested versus interesting. Why? Because when you are interested and you ask questions and you, first of all, you get to know about the person first. You get to understand where they come from. In a sales conversation, you get to understand how can you possibly serve this person so you keep yourself in integrity, right? But most important, because then you will make an impact. People will remember you because you are fulfilling the number one need in humans, which is
to feel heard.
to feel heard.
To feel validated, to feel like they belong. And so when you shut up and listen and ask great questions, really what you're doing is you're gaining, and I often use the analogy of you're gaining ammunition.
Yes.
They are equipping you with the ammunition you need to go to battle with them.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So tell me about tell me a little bit about your business. Tell me a little bit about the challenges. If you had to share with me the top 3 challenges in your, and I'm going off the cuff here, right? The top 3 challenges in your business right now, what would you say they are? If you had to share a couple of opportunities and things that are really exciting, what would you say they are? And ask questions that are open. And this goes for the conversation we had in networking, and it goes also in sales. When you ask those open-ended questions, what ends up happening is the person starts to talk and you get insights on who they are, what their character is like, what they value, what's important to them, and where you can really benefit them. So once you gain all of this information, so I often say if you're doing a 30-minute consultation or a 30-minute call with somebody, a chat with them, with the intention to invite them to the opportunity to work together, the first 20 minutes is usually them talking.
Yes.
You asking questions, shut up and listen and get curious.
Yes.
Get curious.
Yes. And I love how my partner Arabia always says, if you're talking, you're not listening. Like, always remember that, right? And the reason why we want to share this is because we want you to approach the Moxie way of abundance, which is impact. We are here to serve you. We are all here to serve you. Actually, humans in general, our only purpose in this life is to be here and serve. Serve through our talents, through our gifts, through the possibility that we have to share ourselves vulnerably with the world and charge for it, of course, because this is part of the system that we live in, right? But the ultimate goal is to serve. So in order for us to be able to serve properly, we need to understand how we can serve. And sometimes not everybody is going to be a good fit for us as a client. Even if they appear to be a good fit, or even if, they really want to work with us and they can pay us, that's not enough. We need to make sure that we understand where they're coming from, what do they need, and how can we serve them, and if we can truly serve them. And when we have that as a main intention in our conversation, while asking questions, while being, curious about it, the same way that they can smell fear, they will smell that genuine purpose. They will smell the willingness and the good intention that you have of serving them. And they will not only feel heard, but they will feel important. They will feel valued. They will feel like they matter. And that will build trust. That will build rapport. So then when you deliver your offer, it's not so much what you say and how, the price or whatever the marketing strategy that you have, but it's the energy that you're delivering the offer. So I want you to imagine that you have this beautiful, beautiful light that says, that is imprinted with, I love you, you matter, you deserve to be happy. And when you tell them, I charge X amount from what I'm doing, you're really giving them this energy. And when they grab it, they're going to be so focused on this energy that the price and the offer, it won't matter that much. It will be the energy of, you matter to me. I have the best intention to support you. I'm excited to support you. And that's how you will be able to make an impact, close your offer, and make money with it.
Yeah, and I love what you said is that these conversations, when you shut up and listen, what they also do is help you understand whether or not you are the solution for them.
Yes.
And not always will you be the solution.
Nope.
So understanding and being okay with, I shared a couple episodes ago where I had a conversation with a fellow coach of somebody that wanted to join both our communities, and realizing after conversations with this person what might serve her the best. And because we are both impact driven, service driven, and abundance mindset, we were able to see beyond our own financial goals, our own how many members do we want to have goals, and we focused on impact. And we knew that the impact that we could have, I had a fantastic sales conversation with this person. In fact, she was ready to sign up. But my version of selling is serving. And I knew that in order to serve, based on everything she shared with me, was this is not the time. The time is later, and we were able to work something out. So here's my point. My point is there's actually two things that we talked about there, okay? It's, am I a right fit for this person, and is this the right time? But even more so, we're coming from a place of abundance, and we're coming from a place of curiosity, and we're coming from a place of asking the questions, seeking to understand versus to be understood.
Yes, and that is also an episode of Mindful Moxies.
That's right, it is. My gosh, I'm like,
I love everything about it. It is very important. And also, one thing that I have seen is that when you ask a lot of questions, you not only get to know your client, but you get to know the person. You get to know who they are. And that builds the foundation for a long-lasting relationships. One of the things that I love teaching my clients, and I have a community that's called Loud Network, where we come together and we learn how to network beyond the transaction, how to sell really beyond the transaction and really create authentic connections. And one of the things that I teach is that sometimes your client will not be the person that you're having a consult with in the moment.
that's right.
Sometimes she or he is not a good fit for you.
That's right.
Or you decide that based on what this person's telling you, because you were curious and because you ask the questions and because you shut up and listen, you can identify that you're not the best fit for them. You will create that authentic connection, and that person will hold that in your heart. And then the friend the teacher,
right.
the
That's
husband will be like, you know what? It's not for me, but it's for you.
That's right.
And that person will send you a referral. But why? Because you build an authentic connection.
That's right.
It all comes from listening. So this also weaves in abundance. When you have a sales conversation, knowing that you don't need this client, even if your bank account tells you that you do, you don't. You're always protected. You're always safe. There's enough for everybody. When you are able to connect with that abundance, then you will genuinely connect with that person. You will build an authentic relationship, and that relationship will give you something, whether it's a client or the satisfaction of knowing a person, a good lesson. You will support, maybe not through your product, but maybe through a word or a phrase that will impact that person in many ways. You never know, and you might never know. And that's okay, because that involves you trusting that everything happens exactly how it needs to.
That's right.
And that is a way of practicing being in an abundance mindset.
And being a great listener.
Yes.
Being a great listener and asking, what questions are we asking? So I think that's the next piece, is start to really reflect as it relates to sales. And again, we can talk to business owners who might be thinking about their offers, their proposals, or their pitches. But we're also talking about people that might be ready to ask for a promotion. Maybe you want to ask for more time off. Maybe it is not a money thing. Maybe you're asking for something else. You are making a request, because the truth is that I am selling you my electrician as much as I am selling you anything else. These are requests. And the opportunity when we're making requests, the opportunity when we're selling, the opportunity when we are asking for something that we desire or want, is how do we ask the right questions? And then how do we allow the person to answer and continue to answer and come from a place of abundance and curiosity?
Yes, the Luly bee. So, Luly, give us an example of what would be like 3 main good questions that could create this impact, let's just say in a sales conversation.
So I think it depends on what it is that you are doing. And what you're selling. But in the case of, let's say you are a business owner, since the majority of our community, the people that we work with are business owners, and perhaps, if I were to gauge, chances are a lot of you are business owners and could maybe benefit from this. So I would keep the questions. I love 3 questions, and I love, and again, in your consult, and that's why I don't like calling them consults. I don't like to mix a sales conversation with a consultation and coaching. I like to just stay focused on your challenges and how I might be able to serve you.
Right.
So I think that would be the first recommendation, the first tip.
Right.
And then the questions that you might want to ask could be around opportunities and challenges, because there are people that might be able to identify opportunities a little bit quicker. And then there are people that might be able to identify challenges a little bit quicker. That doesn't mean that one is positive, that they're optimistic, and the other one is pessimistic. It just means that they're able to identify in a different way. So asking both of those questions is really beneficial. So it's in asking those questions and coming from a place of curiosity, and really saying things like, I'm curious, and then following it up with what you're really curious about. The greatest human need is to feel heard, to feel appreciated, to feel like you belong. And in these conversations, as Adrianna said, this is where you build trust. This is where you build rapport. And people do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And that's what we get to do in these conversations.
And this is why listening will build that rapport. By you listening, people will like you, will get to know you, and will get to trust you, or you will get to know them, and they will feel heard and valued. And that will add tremendous value, not to just your transaction, but the relationship that eventually can create a lot of abundance, whether it's in a money form or just in the impact that you want to create in your life.
Absolutely.
I love it, Luly B. You're a great coach.
I love this too, Adrianna Foster.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We are super looking forward to keep supporting you. We're very excited with Mindful Moxie Season 2. Please, if you like our stuff, our content, comment below. Let us know what you want to hear about, us talking. What are the questions that you have, maybe challenges, so we can also curate this podcast for you. Leave us a review and follow us on social media.
Yes, we love to hear from you. We love to hear from you.
Well, my name is Adrianna Foster.
And I'm Luly B. Carreras.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, share the episode with your friends, and go to mindfulmoxies.com where you can schedule a call with us. See you next week.